And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Rocco LaDuca is our guest, and we're talking about journalism. We're talking about talk radio, and Rocco continues to do his show on Talk of the Town Monday through Friday until 10 o'clock, not till 10:30.
No, 10 o'clock.
Is that enough time?
100.7 FM. Well, the guests, we usually have about between 4, 5, 6 guests on, and I think some might prefer like quicker interviews, but I think, like you said, we have 3 people on there, and I think so usually we give a half hour, which roughly with commercials is about 20 minutes or so. So I think that's a good time to kind of touch on some things, but not dig too deeply.
Do you ever ask guests to stay over?
Well, someone like Scott McNamara, the district attorney, he's someone we enjoy having on because he'll take a lot of time to explain issues. There's a lot of big stories in the news, whether it's crimes or murder cases or trials or statewide issues, national issues, criminal trends. He's very informed with a lot of these things and the law as well. So it's always fascinating to talk to him. And we always like to keep him a little bit longer than I think we initially planned. And he's very flexible with us, so we appreciate that.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned his name. I'm going to give him a call because I like having him on too. He's very articulate and he knows his stuff.
But there's one person that I think we were talking out there that I was still trying to get in studio. I know he's been on the show previously, but the mayor of WUTQ, Rob Palmieri, I've known him for years and we have great conversations, and he'll call in from time to time for a few minutes. But I think when you actually sit down one-on-one with somebody in the studio, you have a more organic, natural flow to the conversation. And if you get a little bit more time, you have a chance to really delve into some detailed, serious issues. And I think the mayor it does a disservice to himself and the public's perception of him, because there are a lot of controversial issues out there that he's involved with, and people have the opinion he might be good for the city or not. But I think he might be a little bit reluctant to come into the studio as opposed to a few minutes on the phone. So, Mayor, if you're listening, I'd wish you would really come on our show. Yeah,
well, give him a call. I've found him to be receptive to me. He's come on here. I've got to give him a call too and have him come back in. Who have been some of your favorite guests? I know you liked George Aney, didn't you?
Yeah, George Aney, a longtime local attorney. He was fascinating to have on. I've talked to him for years, and just a guy who's just got a lot of stories to tell, and quite a character himself. And I think that even there's people you could have on to talk about specific issues, and there's people just to have on to talk. And I think, to me, that's a lot of fun because you really don't know where the conversation is going to go. Tim Julian, former Mayor Tim Julian, is someone I find very entertaining. I get a kick out of whenever he's on the show, and I mean there's a lot of people that I think I'm always glad and excited when they come on.
Do you have a difficult time with people you don't like?
No. I mean, people might not like me. I think over the years that I think as you're a reporter, you just kind of tick off a lot of people. And they always say that if both sides don't hate, or if both sides hate you, then you're doing your job. And I don't know if anyone's ever hated me, but I've always tried to be fair. And I think people have told me that I've been fair. They haven't always liked what I've written, but I think I've always done the best that I wanted to do. And I've always said this many times that all the people that I've interviewed over the years here, I've liked all of them. There's not a single person I didn't like. They might think I didn't like them, but personally, I enjoy talking to them, getting to know their perspectives, and being able to tell their story. And I think if anyone's ever looked at anything I've written about them, I don't think they would ever walk away, even if we had an angry conversation or they might have said things over the phone or back and forth, that it never came across in the story. And I think I was always respectful to that.
I mean, you're still a young man, but are you looking ahead down the road career-wise?
Well, I guess you asked, do we have a dream in life that we want to achieve? And when I was little, like I said, David Letterman was my idol. All I did was, when I was growing up, I watched Letterman every night. I just wanted to be able to have a talk show, sit at a desk, interview people like this. And I said, well, how's that ever going to really happen? So I had a lot of fun writing stories. I fell in love with the crime beat, and I could have done that for years. And then my life has taken different courses. But if I go back and I ask myself that if I ever achieve my dream to be able to be a talk show host, I guess you could say in some sense that I've done that. I've reached a point where I'm interviewing people for people to listen to, and I think I'm pretty happy with that.
And you're tweeting a lot too, aren't you?
Well, trying to.
Yeah, and if people want to follow you on that, how do they do that?
It's, well, Twitter is at Rocco LaDuca, ROCCO LADUCA.
Okay, I was looking at some of your tweets just today. Very interesting stuff.
We always post on our Twitter page for Talk of the Town. We post all of our interviews, so if you don't listen to them on the air, you can always go back and catch them.
Okay, come back again, will you?
I will. Have me.
Good.
Maybe I want to interview next time.
All right, we'll have a home and home series.
All right.
All right.
Good.
Thank you, Rocco. That's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next week. We'll do it all again. And speaking of places to go for good information, don't forget cnyhomepage.com. There's lots of good stuff there. Until next time, take care of yourself, everybody.